Three killers, three states, and not a single person in custody yet. In Tennessee, a baby was left in a stranger's front yard in a car seat. In Montana, four gunned down in a bar, quiet little bar, and then three little girls suffocated in the woods in Washington state. And all three men accused of these absolutely heinous crimes then simply vanished, some into the wild. America now is watching as there are three active manhunts going on in three different parts of the United States of America. Welcome to Surviving the Survivor. This is the show that brings you the very best guests in all of true crime. And more frequently these days, we are bringing you updates on big stories like ongoing manhunts. Right now, across the United States, it is a wave of fear and fury building as these three separate manhunts intensify in their scope and nature. Again, in the states of Tennessee, Montana, and out west in Washington. In Tennessee, as I said, a baby was abandoned, but that was not before four members of a single family were found gunned down, simply slaughtered. The suspect in that case is Austin Drummond, who is still at large. In Montana, as in Washington state, it is a former Army sergeant who is said to have gunned down four people in a small town bar in Montana, then simply disappeared, they believe, into the woods. And in Washington state, a former survivalist and a combat veteran, just like in Montana, he's accused of perhaps the most disheartening and absolutely vile crime imaginable, the asphyxiation and murder, essentially by strangling his three daughters. He didn't do it with his own hands. He used plastic bags with zip ties over their faces till these three little girls could not breathe and passed tragically. The three men are considered armed, dangerous, and desperate, and this is your critical update on all three unfolding manhunts. As you know, STS, we've got viewers and followers in our community in all these places, so who knows? If you see something, say something. But let's start here with Tennessee, and who is the person that authorities are looking for? Well, he is Austin Robert Drummond, 28 years old, a bad individual. And I don't mean bad in a good way, but bad in a horrific way. 5'10", 190 pounds. He has brown hair, blue eyes, and a goatee, or at least that's what he had when he went on the run. But authorities believe he definitely could have changed his appearance. Now, he is incredibly dangerous. He is a confirmed Vice Lords gang member, and a lot of people have reached out and said, well, the Vice Lords in prison, primarily an African-American gang. Well, he is part of this gang. He's got a criminal history, serving 13 years in the Tennessee Department of Corrections for aggravated robbery and retaliation. While he was behind bars, literally behind bars, he was charged with attempted murder. I've taken a look at his Facebook profile. People have reached out to me, and it seems like he was living a pretty large life in prison. He seemed to have some help from departments of corrections officers on the inside. In one profile, he has ordered a large pepperoni pizza. He's got a game console. This is while he was literally in prison in Tennessee. But again, he was charged with attempted murder as a prisoner, and somehow, and the DOC in Tennessee is going to have to answer to this, he was released on bond, and that is when this quadruple homicide occurred. The DA previously warned the parole board, simply saying Austin Drummond is a dangerous felony offender and a confirmed member of the Vice Lord. So what happened exactly? Well, this goes back now a couple of days, good couple of days, to July 29th at around 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when an infant girl was found abandoned in a car seat on a stranger's front lawn. This was near Old Highway 20 in the Tigret area, forgive me, of Dyer County, Tennessee. He was dropped off either by a dark minivan, authorities are saying, or a white midsize SUV. Now, a witness saw, quote unquote, them drop the child off, indicating that Austin Drummond had some sort of accomplice, some sort of help, because the baby was dropped off um, after the quadruple homicide. The quadruple homicide, I believe, was about 30 miles from the spot where the baby was dropped off, and then his vehicle was seen about 70 miles from the original spot. Officials called the dropping of the baby as an actual sign of compassion, and maybe you could see it as that. It's a weird paradox because on the one hand, you've got 4 slaughtered family members, but on the other hand, he spared this 7-month-old infant's life. And if there's a silver lining here, it's that this baby is young enough at 7 months that she's not going to obviously understand what is happening, and hopefully can go on to live a somewhat normal life with other family members. But the mother and father, who are only 21 and 20 respectively, they will not be around to raise this young girl. And it was the same day, on July 29th, that 4 bodies were discovered in nearby Tiptonville, Tennessee, which is also part of Lake County. Now, who are the victims here? Most important, Matthew Wilson, the 21-year-old father of the infant. Then you've got Adriana Williams, the 20-year-old mother of this infant. So again, the mother and father, 21 and 20 respectively. Their maternal grandmother. The maternal grandmother is a woman named Courtney Rose, and she's important. By the way, the grandmother only 38 years old. But Courtney Rose's sister reportedly was dating Austin Drummond, and she is a corrections officer. So that appears to be the connection and the tie. Also, the maternal uncle was found dead, a person named Braden Williams, just 15 years old. So you've got Matthew Wilson, 21, the father, Adriana Williams, 20, the mother, the maternal grandmother, Courtney Rose, just 38, and Braden Williams, the maternal uncle, 15 years old, all found dead near the crime scene. Cause of death still unreleased, but they are saying it was a shooting. So you have that. Connection to the suspect. Again, Austin Drummond previously dated Courtney Rose, the mother and grandmother's sister. This is according to family posts on social media. Police have been rather tight-lipped about it. Now, the manhunt, July 31st, is when Austin Drummond was publicly ID'd as a suspect. And then on August 2nd, some important vehicles to be on the lookout for. A white 1988 Ford pickup with a red stripe was found near Burnt Mill Road. That's in Dyer County, Tennessee. That is a white 1988 Ford pickup with a red stripe. So that's an old, it's hard to believe, but 1988 now. It's a vintage truck with a red stripe found near Burnt Mill Road in Dyer County. Meanwhile, another vehicle of interest is a white 2016 Audi A3, which was abandoned in Jackson, Tennessee, and that had driver's side damage. So an Audi A3 abandoned in Jackson, Tennessee, with driver's side damage. The TBI, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, they say as of August 4th that they believe that Austin Drummond was still in West Tennessee. Then a couple of days ago, there was talk about a possible sighting in Missouri. That was never fully fleshed out as far as I know. It was just some reports of that. Multiple schools in this part of West Tennessee have been placed on lockdown as police are swarming specific areas, blocking roads. An active manhunt is on the way. They are asking police in Tennessee and West Tennessee are asking for the police's help, And we'll tell you what specifically. They're asking residences and businesses along Highway 78, that is from Dyersburg to Lake County, to check video between 6 a.m. and 4 p.m. Tuesday, July 29th. So if you're along Highway 78 from Dyersburg to Lake County, and if you live in this area, you're going to know what I'm talking about, on July 29th between 6 and 4 p.m., 6 a.m. and 4 p.m. in the afternoon, they are asking for video of either a white Nissan Rogue, a black Dodge Charger, a white Chevy Traverse, or an older white Ford F-150. That's the one from 1988, or the white Audi A3. Again, they're looking at a bunch of different vehicles, which leads everyone to believe and understand, because police have said it, that this guy, Austin Drummond, had help. So they're looking again for video of a white Nissan Rogue, black Dodge Charger, white Chevy Traverse, an older white Ford F-150 from 1988 with a red stripe, or a white Audi A3. As far as the accomplices, 2 were arrested during this manhunt. One is a person named Tanaka Brown, age 29, arrested Friday, August 1st. This person charged with accessory after the fact to first-degree murder, tampering with evidence. And why was this person arrested? Investigators believe that Tanaka Brown helped Austin Drummond evade capture after the killings and may have been involved in disposing of evidence, though the TBI has not revealed specifics. Are leaving the investigation fairly tight-knit, close to the vest, so they have the information and the public doesn't, but they are revealing that this guy, Tanaka Brown, was arrested. His current status, this guy being held without bond in the Lake County Jail, and I'm sure they are pressuring him for information. Then you've got another person named Giovanni Thomas, 28 years old. He was arrested Saturday, August 2nd. He, too, charged with accessory after the fact to first-degree murder. Why was he arrested, you might be asking yourself? Giovanni Thomas was already in custody on an unrelated charge for failure to appear in Madison County. Once his connection to Austin Drummond surfaced, the TBI charged him with assisting Austin Drummond after the murders, though, again, the exact nature of the help remains under investigation. His current status, he's being transferred to Lake County for arraignment on the new charge. Now, the TBI referred to both men here, and I quote, as associates of Drummond, and have not yet disclosed the full extent of their involvement, whether they helped him hide, transport him, or obstruct the investigation in other ways. It is not 100% clear. There is a reward and contact numbers. Right now, you've got a $17,500 reward, $10,000 from U.S. Marshals, $7,500 from the TBI, for a total amount right now $17,500. I've seen elsewhere where the reward has been up to closer to 20. It's changing. Call immediately if you spot them. You call 911. I'm going to read these out loud because a lot of people are listening to this. Obviously, you can call 911 or 731-415-7962, 731-415-7962. There's another 731 number in Tennessee. That would be 731-333-9811, 731-333-9811, or 1-800-TBI-FIND, 1-800-TBI find. And a statement from the TBI is short and to the point, saying that Austin Drummond should be considered armed and dangerous, as should Michael Paul Brown. That brings us to our second manhunt, which is going on in Montana. The guy's name again, Michael Paul Brown. The location, the epicenter of this manhunt is a place called Anaconda, like the snake Anaconda, Montana. Has a population under 10,000. It is 75 miles southeast of Missoula, Montana, nestled in a mountain range. The date of the shooting here was Friday, August 1st, 2025. So just on Friday around 10:30 a.m. Who is Michael Paul Brown? Well, for one thing, he weighs 170 pounds, 5 foot 10 inches, brown hair, blue eyes. He was last seen wearing black boxer-style shorts. It's an eerie-looking photo. He looks kind of disheveled and slippery. like he's trying to get away. He's in black boxer style shorts, barefoot, and shirtless. Now, he is a U.S. Army veteran serving from 2001 to 2005. He was in the Montana National Guard between 2006 and 2009, deployed to Iraq from February of 2004 to March of 2005, and he was discharged as a sergeant. He has been diagnosed with PTSD, so he has a mental health background with PTSD. Sadly, as so many soldiers returning from war suffer from this. Families and locals say that he became paranoid and delusional off of his medication, and apparently he was off his meds. One of the family members, his niece, a woman named Claire Boyle, said he doesn't always know where or when or who he is. Doesn't always know where or when or who he is. And perhaps with some sort of mental health issue that he was having related to this PTSD. And obviously underscoring the fact that a lot of people live with mental health illness. The vast majority do not commit crimes, but here police and investigators are putting this out there to let you know that he was suffering from PTSD. Now, where did this crime occur? A place called the Owl Bar. Again, about 70 miles southeast of Missoula, Montana. He was a regular. Michael Brown was a regular at the Owl Bar and lived actually right next door. He allegedly walked in with a personal rifle and opened fire, killing 4 residents in just cold blood. Here are the victims. Nancy Loretta Kelly. Nancy Loretta Kelly. She was the bartender, but a retired oncology nurse. Imagine you devote your life to helping cancer patients, and then a guy who's a combat veteran suffering from PTSD for whatever reason comes into a bar and ends your life with a essentially a blast from a weapon. Then you've got Daniel Edwin Bailey. Daniel Edwin Bailey, 59. David Allen Leach, 70. Now, he was deaf, lived in public housing, which is particularly sad, so he didn't hear what was going on when it was going on. His life taken way too soon. And the fourth person, named Tony Wayne Palm, 74 years old. So the people here, 64, 59, 70, and 74. The motive remains unclear, but authorities say he likely knew the suspects and knew them well. The Montana Attorney General, a person named Austin Knudsen, says, and I quote here, "This was a heinous, targeted attack by a highly unstable individual." This was a heinous, targeted attack by a highly unstable individual. About the escape and the vehicle recovery. So he was captured on surveillance shortly after the shooting. Again, he was at the time barefoot, shirtless, wearing black shorts, and obviously trying to escape the scene. He got into a white F-150 Ford pickup. That truck was later recovered by law enforcement near Stumptown Road in this section of Montana. Brown was not found near the truck. He was believed to have stolen an other vehicle that had camping gear, clothes, and supplies. And officials now assume he is fully clothed, possibly still armed, and hiding in some really difficult mountainous terrain. Like the manhunt now, the focus of the manhunt is southwest of Anaconda, Montana, near Stumptown Road, Barker Lake, the mountain trails around there. If you are from this area, you know what we're talking about. Resources deployed so far, 250 plus law enforcement personnel. You've also got canine teams. You have infrared drones, aerial surveillance. SWAT did clear Brown's home. Federal and state agencies are involved, including the Department of Justice, DCI, and U.S. Marshals, all on top of this right now. And according to AG Knudsen in the great state of Montana, he says, "We believe he's hiding in the timber and he could return to town." We believe he's hiding in the timber and he could return to town. big impact on the small community there. Public events have been canceled across Anaconda. The National Forest Service closed access to nearby woods because of this, and residents are now warned to stay inside and be on alert. Residents are warned to stay inside and be on alert. There's a resident, a guy named David Jabarek, quoted by one of the local media outlets saying, "I was supposed to be at the bar 15 minutes before the shooting. I'd be dead if I hadn't gone to run an errand instead. Now everyone's got a firearm within reach." So this guy was supposed to be in the bar, had to run an errand. He says that's what saved his life. And he's saying now everyone has got a firearm within reach. I'll tell you, when I grew up in suburban New Jersey, no one had weapons. It was unusual. But in this part of the country, just about everyone has got a firearm. Where I'm living now in Florida, many people with firearms. And I don't think they're going to have a problem protecting themselves as they should with a really dangerous man on the run. In Montana, for this manhunt, a $7,500 reward for any credible tips. Authorities are asking that you call 911 or 1-877-926-8332, 1-877-926-8332 if you believe you have any sightings of Mr. Brown. They say do not approach him. He is armed and extremely dangerous. On to our third manhunt. This one is happening in the Washington State, Idaho area. A guy named Travis Caleb Decker. We have covered this on STS before. This has been going on for quite some time. But now authorities are saying that they believe they had a sighting of him at a place called the Rock Island Campground in Chelan County, Washington. The latest reported sighting was near the Pacific Crest Trail near Snoqualmie Pass. Forgive me if I'm butchering the names. Pacific Crest Trail near Snoqualmie Pass. They believe that sighting was as recently as August 1st. Now, who is Travis Decker? Age 32. He is 5'8", 190 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. He was last seen wearing a tan or green T-shirt and dark shorts. He, too, has a military background. He's a former U.S. Army infantryman serving between 2013 and 2021. That's 8 years. Deployed to Afghanistan in 2014. He's an expert, authorities say, an expert in navigation and off-grid survival, as well as evasion. Those are three things police did not want to hear. Authorities do not want to hear that he is an expert in navigation, off-grid survival, and most importantly to them, evasion. He knows how to get away. Now, this is the one that turns your stomach the most because he is accused of murdering his three daughters by asphyxiation, by putting a plastic bag over their heads with a zip tie. His oldest daughter, Peyton Decker, 9, Evelyn Decker, 8, Olivia Decker, 5, just the all-American looking three quintessential girls, and their lives taken from them at the hands of their father. The girls were on a court-mandated visitation with Travis Decker, their father, but they never returned home. As I said, they were found suffocated with plastic bags over their heads and zip-tied wrists. Their bodies were discovered going all the way back to June 2nd near Travis Decker's abandoned pickup truck. And the forensics tell you a story there with the pickup truck. Decker's bloody fingerprint was found on the tailgate. I was wondering why a bloody fingerprint. If he asphyxiated the daughters, we don't know. We don't know if he was hunting or using a knife or something, or got, his finger caught on something. But there was a bloody fingerprint, and the DNA samples from the scene and the truck matched him. Zip ties and plastic bags were also scattered near the crime scene. Of course, the plastic bags, in this case, were the murder weapon along with the zip ties. The Chelan County medical examiner ruled the cause of death suffocation, the manner of death homicide. So cause of death suffocation, manner of death homicide. Travis Decker's truck was left behind, but he, according to authorities, vanished into the woods. Investigators later revealed that he had Googled, and this is important, he had Googled, and I quote, "How does a person move to Canada, jobs in Canada, how to relocate to Canada. Federal prosecutors charged him with 3 counts of aggravated murder for the murder of each of his daughters, 3 counts of kidnapping, unlawful flight to avoid prosecution. These girls' mother, who had the children, obviously with Travis Decker, just devastated beyond words, and there is concern for her safety as well. Now, this last sighting, August 1st, again, near Snoqualmie Pass, 6 o'clock on August 1st, a tip placed Travis Decker on the Pacific Crest Trail near Snoqualmie Pass. There was an absolute massive response. You had a TAC 30 tactical team respond, as well as canine units, drones, and something known as a Guardian 1 helicopter. You had patrol officers and neighboring agencies all heading out there. The area was combed for hours, and then the search was eventually called off without finding Travis Decker. That is the common denominator. All 3 of these manhunts right now are manhunts because they can't find the man. Still searching for this guy. According to the King County Sheriff's Office, and I quote, "This is still an active scene. Locating Travis Decker is a priority." Previous search areas, the primary focus, if you live in this area, was Blewett Pass, Blewett Pass, and encampments between Chelan and Kittitas counties. As of late July, Chelan County Sheriff scaled back the ground search because of a lack of new leads. Investigators remain convinced, however, that Travis Decker is likely still alive, traveling by trail systems, living off grid. And this guy is sneaky. Again, he's an expert at evasion. One law enforcement official is quoted as saying he once lived over 2 months in the backcountry without contact. Once lived over 2 months in the backcountry without contact. And this now is going on since basically the beginning of June. And we are now, at some point in early August. Reward and how to help. In this particular case, a $20,000 reward. If you see Decker, authorities are warning, do not approach him. Call 911 immediately or contact the U.S. Marshals tip line, 1-800-836-0102. U.S. Marshals tip line, 1-800-336-0102. So you just heard it here. 3 active manhunts going on in the United States right now. One in the Washington State, Idaho area. They're looking for Travis Caleb Decker, Travis Caleb Decker. And he has been on the run since the beginning of June. In Montana, you've got Michael Paul Brown, like Travis Decker. He is a former combat veteran. Michael Paul Brown said to have PTSD and extremely paranoid when off his medications. He went into a bar and literally just took the lives of 4 innocent people who were just trying to have an enjoyable day, having a few drinks at a bar. And then last but not least, on the East Coast in Tennessee, you have Austin Robert Drummond, a convicted felon who also gotten another charge slapped on him while incarcerated for attempted murder. He's a confirmed Vice Lords gang member. And for whatever reason, this guy got bond, was allowed out, and went out. He murdered 4 people, including a mother and a father and a 15-year-old boy, the mother and father of an infant child who were just 21 and 20. The baby's life was spared, thankfully, but the baby's grandmother also was killed. And that grandmother is said to have dated Austin Robert Drummond. She was apparently a corrections officer, and authorities believe that that is the tie that unites Austin Robert Drummond with his victim. So 3 major active manhunts going on across the United States. If you know anything about any of these, if you have any information, if you're listening to Surviving the Survivor and you see something, say something. I've given you all the numbers. We're going to continue to follow up on this. Appreciate you being here. Love you, America. Be kind. Don't kill anyone.